Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Preet, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you sent me over the last couple of days 2 different independent speaking practice tests. So the first one here, let's take a look at it. I think this is independent speaking practice number 31. So I'm going to download it, open it up.
The musicians who...
Okay, so let's take a look at this question. Compare and contrast 2 musicians who influenced you. Give examples during your comparison. This is very, very difficult practice test. Probably one of the most difficult ones you could ever get as a compare and contrast type.
The musicians who influenced me, first is Jazzy B, second is Ataf Ali. Jazzy B is very good a singer and musician. He does.
Now, what do you want to compare them? So the 2 musicians who influenced you are similar or different in terms of their style, in terms of their fan base. Exactly what is it that you're trying to compare? It's probably a good idea to point that out very quickly in this type of response.
Rock and pop, and I love dancing, and it influenced me to have dance in parties, so I just love the Jazzy B songs. And second one is Ataf Ali. This musician does the sad songs, and I love the sad songs.
Now, is this musician similar or different to the other musician you've already talked about? So you need a more specific topic statement, I think, that will compare and contrast these 2 singers.
Sometimes they just relax me, and because it has very good music, so it relaxes my mind, it relieves my stress. I love it.
Okay, so let's take a look here. So your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.0 out of 4. 15 points out of 30 on this practice test. So mainly, you have quite a few weaknesses with your topic development. What you did was not really a strong compare and contrast type organization. Go to Google and type in the keywords, how to write a compare and contrast essay. So there's 2 ways to do it, either using chunking or using what's called sequencing or point by point. So as you learn about that, ask yourself, okay, how can I apply the organization I'm learning about on the internet? How would I apply this into this type of practice test, right? So I think you could do that. I think language use, your vocabulary and grammar tend to be a little bit basic. So you need to work in both vocabulary and grammar sections of my course. Pronunciation, I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but you did have some pauses and hesitations in there. All right, so let's go. I think you sent me one more here. I want to take a listen. Okay, let's go to your next one. Here we go.
The important event in my life is getting married, because marriage changed my life. As for example,
now, how did it change your life? So if you can be more specific in that topic statement before you get to the for example, then it'll be easier for you to organize the rest of your speech. So it's a little bit unusual right after your introduction to say, for example. It's more common after the introduction to say something like, first of all, you might say, marriage changed me because I learned how to be more financially independent, right? And then you give an example at that point. Then you say, second of all, marriage also changed me because I learned how to unconditionally love someone else. At that point, then you give the example. So the example is better when it follows the more general statement. So I think having some difficulties introducing your
I
ideas.
have a lot of responsibilities, like I have to take care of the family and I have to take care outside too, like having groceries and all. And second, it changed my life, like I have to take care at home and I have to work for my job. So
You're bringing up too many different ideas and you're not giving yourself enough time to provide supporting details for those ideas.
I have to look after everything, and it has very drastic change in my life. It is like
Now, for you, when you're speaking right now, it's more like you're talking to me at a Starbucks restaurant. You're just kind of explaining to me how marriage changed you, but you're not really doing it in a very coherently organized manner. So you need to really, really get more organized in how you're presenting your ideas. Now, in the previous task, you had problems with the compare and contrast type organization, right? So you're already figuring that out. Now here, I want you to go to speaking lesson number 7, also speaking lesson number 2, both of which will give you some good information on how you can organize, I think, your speaking in a way that's a little bit easier to understand. Again, your vocabulary and grammar is a bit basic, and with delivery, just speak with a little more volume and make sure that you're varying your intonation a little more than you are. So you can learn more about intonation by going to pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. Your score here, I'm going to put you about 2.1 out of 4, 17 points out of 30 on this. So you need to get more organized. You need to make sure you're using pretty much an extensive range of both vocabulary and grammar as you express your ideas. All right, thank you.